Hey guys, I am here to tell you about the instructions for today. As you know, I am not there. I am in Cary, North Carolina for a workshop, but I am still going to try to give you instructions for today. So I told you last night that you should have read chapter 7 or reread it, as well as finished page 31 in your workbook. Now I'm not going to check today your page 31, so I'm just making sure that you've done it. On the top of your page that you received, it should have said last night should have finished page 31 and chapter 7. So that's just a reminder. This is a guide that I'm about to go over. So you got to make sure that you're reading it with me. I'm also going to show you my answers for some of this as well. Okay, so the first thing it says is on pages 93 through 97, in chapter 7, in The Lightning Thief, you will find several examples of Percy having experiences that align to the hero's journey. So in chapter 7, from pages 93 to 97, there are some things that have reflected the hero's journey, such as the following 4 bullets: entering the unknown, supernatural aid, allies and the helpers, and the road of trials. And again, those are from the hero's journey. It said reread the 4 parts of the hero's journey. As you know, the hero's journey is on page 17, 18, 19, and 20 in your workbook, as well as reread pages 93 through 97. When you reread those pages in The Lightning Thief, you've got to think about what do I believe has the most evidence for one of those sections of the hero's journey. Does it align with entering the unknown more? Does it align with supernatural aid more? Does it align with allies and helpers? Or does it align more with the road of trials? All of you can have different answers, but those are what the 4 that show up from pages 93 to 97. Okay? Then, number 2, in your directions, after you have reread both the hero's journey sections of those 4, as well as Percy Jackson, you then will open your workbook to page 33. Okay, open your workbook to page 33. You may do this inside of your small groups that you're sitting with, page 33 first. Open your workbook to page 33. You will find a graphic organizer chart on page 33. Look over it and read the following directions, and the following directions are A through C on this paper. It says, choose one experience in The Lightning Thief and match it with a stage of the hero's journey. Put this in the first box, okay? For example, I'm going to take my phone and show you mine. Okay, where it says, stage of the hero's journey, I don't know if you saw it because I just put my phone on it. It says the stage of the hero's journey. You could either put entering the unknown, you could put supernatural aid, you could put allies and helpers, or you can put the road of trials. Depending on how you feel for 93 through 97, which one correlates and aligns the best for you? For me, I actually did the road of trials. You do not have to do that. It might actually be easier to do entering the unknown or supernatural aid, or even allies and helpers. Those are easier. I'm doing one that's more difficult, being the road of trials. Then the next box on your page, okay? I'm talking about page 33, says Percy's experience, challenge and response quote from The Lightning Thief. You've got to get a quote for a challenge and a quote for his response, and that's being Percy Jackson. Remember, we're focusing on his experiences. So, it said on B, back to your instructions, gather evidence from The Lightning Thief, and you're going to place it in the second box, the one I just read. This will be Percy Jackson experience, one of his challenges, and his responses. Therefore, you have 2 evidence. I have written evidence and a little bit more. My box is very full there. I've given the challenge and I said this. Percy is realizing what and who are at Camp Half-Blood. He doesn't fully grasp it. And I said, for my evidence for this, my challenge on page 96, it says, he was talking with Annabeth. Annabeth gave me a cautious look. She didn't want to burst my bubble. Maybe you're right. Maybe he'll send a sign. And that was from page 96. And she's referring to about the sign about his father and when he's going to leave, or when who his father is. Is he going to stay there forever? After she explains about Camp Half-Blood and who's there and things like that. His response later on page, again, 96 at the bottom says, so I'm stuck here. That's it for the rest of my life. So that's his response. He's grappling, he's wrestling with the idea of who he is, where he's at, how long he's going to be there, and that is a challenge in his response to that. Then, back to your instructions. Find a quote from the hero's journey in the stage chosen in the first box that relates to Percy's experiences. The quote that I have chosen from the hero's journey that aligns back to his challenge and response to the Road of Trials is, the Road of Trials is a series of tests, tasks, or ordeals that a person must undergo to begin their transformation, and this is in your workbook in Act 2 on page 19. So I've put in quotation marks that quote, and I've put page 19. Then the last part, number 3 in your instructions, says, answer the box. What can we learn about Percy as a hero based on his response to a challenge he faces? I referred back to the challenge that I talked about on page 96. My answer is long, and that box is rather large. I'll read you mine. As a hero in the hero's journey, it describes how heroes go through a time of challenges and a series of tests. Percy Jackson is realizing who he might be, where he currently is, and figuring out his family history. He also wrestles with his current situation at being at Half-Blood Camp and what that means. These are the beginnings of his journey and his ordeals that he is going to go through. It shows us that Percy is a hero, but is about to wrestle with challenges that he has already faced in the bathroom and talking with Annabeth. But his doubt and anxiety is a part of his own personal struggle. He also shows us his human nature, even though we know he isn't just ordinary. Okay, and that went back to what we can learn about Percy as a hero. I related it back to certain examples. I've talked about my challenge and my response. So my page for this is full. I've got my certain stage, I've gotten my challenge response, and I've gotten my quote from the hero's text, and I have answered the following question. Page 33 today has to be finished. That is a must. You may work together on that because I know that it's a lot. If you get finished, then you need to work on page 34, the following page in your workbook. It says go to page 34 on your instructions of number 4. Read the instructions, write your constructed response by using your graphic organizer chart from page 33. So you're going to reuse 33 and move it into page 34. Make sure you use an experience from chapter 7. And again, it can be the one you've already used. Start by using a short summary of chapter 7, what went on, and then your next focus in that constructed response, focus on Percy's experiences. At the end of your response, use your answer to what we have learned about Percy as a hero based upon his response to challenges he faces. So I would take this, especially this part, and use it in my paragraph. The only thing I need to add in my construction response paragraph is a short summary of chapter 7. That is what you're doing today. You need to be respectful. You need to make sure you're working. You have a lot to do. This video is almost 10 minutes. So I realize I'm talking for about 10 minutes, but now it is your turn to work on your own on the hero's journey and Percy Jackson. Read, reread 93 through 97, reread the hero's journey, and then start on your chart. And again, you can work together in your tables. A lot of you just moved seats. She knows. Therefore, you need to be at your area. If you have a question, raise your hand. I hope you have a good day. I don't want to see any issues. I know you can do this. I'm excited to see you and what you've got tomorrow. Okay, bye.